Good afternoon, everyone. Just making sure that the internet is not broken with more than 40 degrees in Belgium. We never know. So, the classic stuff in the beginning before we run on the show. Can you see me? Can you hear me? If somebody can tell me that in the chat, we are again live everywhere. So, on our own platform, YouTube, but LinkedIn as well. Just trying to make sure. I just see like a loop back on LinkedIn already, but if the people just can tell me as well that they hear me and see me. Hello, Mr. Stuart. Always good to have you as well. As usual, I will bring up the people, but it's always cool if we can know who you are, where you're from, and if you are also enjoying 40 degrees or lovely rain in you, maybe in other case, could be nice as well. And during that moment, I will already pop one and already pop two of those guys with me. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, Jonathan.
Okay, Yannick, got it. Francois, you need to talk. Even if we know that you're going to talk, if people want to make sure that they hear you, I need you not to say just like this, but also to talk.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Hello, Francois. Good.
Great.
How's the weather at your place? It seems sunny everywhere. I know in Leuven, Yannick told me like good. Oh, dropped to 21 in the UK. It seems that Yannick told me that we are on the same trend in Belgium in the coming hours. At this moment, I tell you, I'm in the room of my son. So I don't know if it's because it's a teenager, but it's 40 degrees over here, definitely. How is it at your place, François? Good?
It is quite good. Yes, 2025. So quite comfortable.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Okay, so I see everybody says it's working. I see people joining live, so that's okay. As usual, third time this year that we connect basically with our customers, but also with potential prospect partners. The curious out here, we got more and more competition, by the way, guys, that join, which is always cool. So I'm saying also hello to the competition. Why do we do this? It's really important for us at least 4 times a year to connect basically with our user database, just because we love to show what we do. I love to entertain the session with an amazing Yannick and Francois. It's not a roasting moment because it's hot enough this time, so I will not do anything. I will be very kind today, promise, guys. Just ask the silly question as always, because that's my role at the end of the day. I'm bringing on the screen basically the topic of today, which is Roadmap Q3, but I know that Francois wanted to highlight something before we even run in anything about what's new, what's coming, what do we engage to do, what we failed maybe to deliver, could also happen sometimes. But yes, Francois, tell us what was so important to be told today.
So thanks for saying that, John. One of the most important things for us is a feedback from customers. So I wanted to highlight that we got already since the beginning of the year more than 250 feedback, and I can't say how much it is valuable for us. I mean, it's so important to get this feedback, to hear from you what you like, but also what you would like to see in the application. So just to remind you that we have a submit an idea button on our roadmap page in luzmo.com/roadmap, and we are checking all the feedback. So yes, super important for us, John.
Okay, I love when you say it. I will even emphasize it because at the moment they don't get 2 a day if I count well, but I'm very bad at mathematics. Everybody knows that over here. So it would be lovely that for the next session we can say that we collected 2 feedback every day since then. That would be nice because we're not very far of it. No, but to emphasize what Francois was saying, it's really important. We can make bets, we can listen as much as you want, but at the end of the day, that is your way to make your voice come up to, I would say, from a ticket up to the management meeting where prioritizations are taken, where Yannick is always, we need people because you want to deliver everything. That's the other part of the game of collecting feedback. But I just wanted to on top of Francois, say a huge thank you because that's gold. I know it takes you time. It can also be sometimes a bit like frustrating, but they read all of your requests. We aggregate them. you see 251, that's not nothing. So when I say that a roadmap is really a challenge, guys, because we get that feedback, but keep pushing that way, because then you will have the best roadmap ever that fits your need and not what we want to work on. At the end of the day, I think that is really why we emphasize that 251 times. Thank you. That was it for me, Francois. I will just ask silly questions as of now, I promise.
Thanks, John. So what's new? I can continue here. So before jumping into Q3, I want to talk a little bit about Q2 and what we worked on. And I would specifically like to do a quick demo. We released in Q2 multi-value feeds. So multi-value feeds, it's a new feature. We got a lot of customer feedback about it. So it works. When we are getting feedback, we are taking that in account, and we are working on this feedback. So multi-value fields, it's using native arrays from your databases and getting them, fetching them, and getting them into Luzmo to use them in your dashboard. So it seems a bit not very clear. So I would, if you don't mind, Jonathan, I can do a quick demo of the.
You're just lucky that I don't have my buzzer with me, because that's on Yannick's place. So on my desk, Yannick, there is a red buzzer. Feel free to pull that one out. I forgot it. No, definitely. I was going to ask if you can, like, you know, but Yannick is fetching the buzzer, so watch out. No, go ahead. The guy over here wants to know more about it and understand better what you understand under multi-value.
Yeah. So here I can start with a dataset page. So here it's a dataset page. You are all seeing this dataset data board in your Luzmo application. There is one small difference. You can already see that if you are familiar with our platform. You see that we have three new columns here: price history, tags, and availability dates. These columns, they are not, as you can see, there is no one single value. We have one single value for stock quantity, one single value for category. But here in the price history, for instance, we have three values. For tags, we have three tags. So it's a very common use case when in your database you have single values and multi-values field. And here for tech, computing, and portable, you have the Laptop Pro. So one row and three values for one row. That's very convenient. Now we are fetching that. If you are using Postgres and ClickHouse, we are fetching these columns, and they are already displayed in your datasets. So that's pretty useful, because, for instance, if you want to know, I don't know, if you want to know what is the stock quantity for the tag tech, right now it's pretty tough to do it. So with the new multi-value fields, you can not just see them in the data board, but you can also use them in your dashboard. So here, what you can see is a very quick and short, easy dashboard to build. But I was able to aggregate the stock quantity per tags. What does it mean? It means that, as you saw, we have three tags in one row. We are unnesting these items, and then we are using it in the dashboard to aggregate as any other column types. We are supporting hierarchies, we are supporting numeric, we are supporting a date type. So if you have native array columns in your databases, you can use it, and you can use it across your dashboards, and filtering is working. You can do a lot of stuff, which is very convenient, because very often when you are using BI tools, the best practice is to flatten the array. Here with Luzmo, you can use it out of the box and make your visualizations working with your arrays. One last thing, because I don't want to take too much time, John, here, is to show you how it works in a table. Because here, as you can, I explained that we are nesting each item, so each tag, to then aggregate them. but it doesn't work, for instance, for tables, because in tables, you want to have that displayed like this. So here for tables, we are keeping the array nested, and we are displaying badges for each item. So here you have the tags with the you can
Laptop
find the
Pro.
Laptop Pro
Yeah.
with the 3 tags. It's grouped in one row. But then if you want to work with the tag and do aggregations on one tag, it's doable in all the other charts, because here you can see that you have 153 and 4 products using the tags. So that's pretty it for this demo.
No, rookie question over here. Can you go back to your screen, maybe, Francois? There is 2 things that I would like to highlight over here. Can you go to the other view that you had, where we have the Laptop Pro, and then you were basically rescaling the column and showing the value into the column then? Yeah. So the +2, and then we saw it, and the +1. On the UX experience, this is pretty lean, guys, honestly. I didn't saw much where you can like resize and then see the value. I think that is definitely a nice front end job on that X.
Yeah, thanks for noticing it, John. And it's not just available in the data board, but it's also available in the table. So here, for instance, we have text
in the table as well. Oh, cool.
And in the table as well. So you can also have that in the table. So depending on the number of columns, you can always have your data visible. You just have to hover the number, and it will display the different values. So
very nice job, in my opinion. Very nice job on the user interface over here. Would love to hear from the chat as well, if they're that. Second thing, multi-value from my wall, from the CRM, it was like when we were trying to collect the sports for the people, because most of the people don't do one sport but multiple, and then the pain was starting when we were trying to aggregate the data, making lovely graphics. At the end of the day, we choose Luzmo, so no problem, and the company was able to produce it. It's a shout out moment for you as well, guys. But so just to put it in another example, the laptop was a really good one. Is that array? I will drop this for you. Is that array an array for objects? That's definitely a question for you, Francois. And I love put some emphasis on what we did right, but if we can answer that question, that would be cool as well. Or do you need more precision on it?
No, I think that I can take actually. I can take both questions from you, Joe. So
that's the second one. Then I just display it so that people can follow the flow.
Yeah. So here in the first iteration, we are supporting a native array. So it's just arrays columns from PostgreSQL and ClickHouse. So we have arrays of objects. We want to support that in the next iteration. So feel free to test it, to use it, and to provide feedback as usual if you think that you want to see something new on it. Yeah, that's yes. That's pretty it. Another example, just to share another example, you mentioned use cases here, Jonathan. It's very often you can also use that for surveys. So if you have questions, responses, and you want to do a little bit data analysis here, we have these different use cases also coming very often in customer feedback. Now with these multi-value fields, you can easily do your data analytics with these arrays.
Okay, maybe a question for me to you, Francois, and I know I shouldn't be asking that question, but you said that it was available today for Postgre and other technology, if I'm not wrong.
ClickHouse. Yes, okay. ClickHouse. So it's already, it has been released in Q2, so you can already use it. To use it, you just have to use your data sets, Postgres or ClickHouse, and we are fetching the native arrays from your database. So you should be able to see them in your data board and to use them in your dashboard editor.
Sounds like a plan. In the chat, if you can tell us if that is cool or not cool, just write cool or not cool, and then we have like direct feedback. Hey, be kind with those guys. It's very warm. They're sensitive today, so let's go in the right direction. No, just honest feedback is always what we're looking at. Is this something we could extend to other technologies, Francois?
Yes, definitely. That's something we are planning to. So again, if you are using other technologies and you would like to see it also working there, feel free to reach out or
Feedback?
to mention it. Feedback.
Feedback. So you get it back. Thank you, Joe, for the call. I know that it's very cool from you. Then I will let those gentlemen move on the program. But I really like the UX part, is where I can be more a judge. Thinking about my sports with my CRM data, so I can see a lot of use cases for this in the coming days. So it would be great to have your use cases in the chat as well. Tell us how you see that you could leverage this. I think this is also sometimes very useful for Yannick, for Francois, because then we understand the end game that we're trying to achieve as well. Let's move on, gents.
Yes.
Roadmap.
So
toasting
let's
time.
start to talk about roadmaps. So as usual, I would like to start with our 2025 pillars. So in 2025, we are focusing on three main areas where we are spending most of our time. We already talked about it in Q1, in Q2, so it's just a reminder that these pillars are our drivers for this year. The first one is building data products. I mean, now data products are more important than ever. And to build great data products, you need flexibility, you need modularity, composability, you need all these very buzzwords. But at the end of the day, it will. Oh, I can't hear you, Jonathan.
Sorry, you're trying to beat me with buzzwords. That is a marketing stuff. That is not an engineering kind of stuff. You shouldn't be using all those buzzwords.
Yes. Sorry, John. I can switch to more engineering stuff. But yes, so I know that people would really want to see their data analytics into their workflow. We are working. We released many capabilities here to improve data products, and it's still something we are focusing on. So in Q3, we are also going to spend a lot of time improving our capabilities there. AI. I mean, AI. It's everywhere. It's also something we have started to work on a few years ago. You have seen Luzmo IQ release. And what we are doing is that we are iterating on AI capabilities everywhere in our product. So you can expect some new capabilities coming in Q3 as well around AI. And success at scale. Our customers, they are working with us for a very long time, and we need to help them to scale their business, their usage of our platform, and also how they are using data analytics. So we always think about how we can make their process better and to improve their experience and the experience of their end users. So that's a really big focus for us. So it was just a summary of the three big pillars, how we are working in our roadmap. We are starting with these pillars, and then we are trying to identify what will have the best impact.
Because we are now in full screen, Francois. The three pillars are, number one, at your end?
Building data products.
The second one?
AI.
Okay, the third one?
It's a tough one, but it will be success at scale.
Here we go. Let's continue.
Great. Thanks for this tricky question, John. Let's continue.
I always love tricky questions. You know me. I'm just happy to help, guys.
And that's what we are planning in Q3. So I will briefly introduce these features, and then we'll dig into each of them specifically. So building data products, I mentioned it, it's very important. We are not just adding capabilities to our dashboard editor, we are building it in a modular approach. So for instance, variable period over period and large file export would be features embedded in our APIs and in our different capabilities like also Flex. So variable AI, sorry, I will go with the pillars first. AI, we are continuously working on AI, like I said. Luzmo IQ is already there, many customers are using it, but we want to make it even better and ready for the next level. So to build agentic API, and we'll dig a little bit deeper on what it means, but that's super exciting. Success at scale. I mentioned we want to help our customers to grow using Luzmo, and single sign-on is one feature we are getting a lot of requests on. So I can also dig into it, but these 4 features would be what we will focus on in Q3. I will switch to, if you don't have any questions, Jonathan, we can dig into specifics.
No, I see only highlights about bravo, Francois. Let's go, Francois. I think you broke your fan club with you over here, mate. Lovely. It's cool to see that.
You have also a very nice French accent when you want.
Yes. I could. Je pourrais essayer.
Very good one.
No, let's dig in. I think people are there, and that is commitment. Then, if I get it right, huh, Francois?
Indeed, yes. This is what we are committing to release in Q3. One thing I can just maybe expand a bit on this slide is large file export. Large file export is what it is. Basically, it's for regular tables. When you are using very large tables, over 700,000 cells, so when you have a lot of data, you want to export. When you are doing that synchronously, it can take a lot of time to export, and sometimes because of the size of the table, the browser can crash. So we got this feedback, and we want to improve the experience. So we are building specifically for these large tables. We are building a system to have asynchronous export. So what it means that the user will click on export, and they will get an email with a link to the file.
I was scared, Francois. I thought you were going to tell me I will have that little thing on my screen, that is turning around and turning around turning around and turning. That never tells you if you crashed or if something is happening. In this case, I heard it well. You notify me directly by email that basically the job is running or that the job is done, correct? No little...
Exactly.
LGBT kind of stuff. I don't remember the right name of this stuff on the Mac, but I don't want to see this. Huh? That is wrong AI. Huh?
No spinner, and actually,
no spinner.
When you have triggered the export, you can close the tab. You can do something else. You don't
I can even close the tab.
Ooh. You can even close the tab. We will notify you indeed with an email. You will have a link, and you can then download as you want the export.
I might have a couple of prospects for us guys for using quite a lot of tools out there in the SaaS. When you kill the tab, you kill the job. So Joe would be happy. Wait, I'm popping up the question. You know that I love to do that. Would like a similar feature to export an entire dashboard to PDF. Right now, the PDF relay is only what's on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So to Joe, go to feedback. Copy paste this with the picture. The guys didn't say yet, so don't try to make me say that this was part of Q4 roadmap. But I think that is definitely the kind of feedback that we love to have, because I can imagine that it is not like a huge work, but if it has value for you, then it's becoming hugely important for us. I think that would be the best question answer to this question, I guess. Merci, Joe. Let's move on, my friend.
Indeed. So let's now dig into each of the remaining features, and we'll start with variable period over period. Yannick, if you don't mind.
Yes.
No. It's not that he don't mind. John need to understand, because that stuff is getting closer to my Chinese than something that I understand with marketing and sales guys. So variable, okay. Period of period, okay. When you put them all together, not okay.
I'll try to explain it clearly to you, Jonathan, and to the rest.
You're my best teacher, my friend. I love you for
that. Last year, we released a base functionality of period over period analysis, and what it basically allows you to do is compare how numbers evolve over time, which is, of course, a core requirement of analytics. How do my sales increase year over year? And what we released last year was where you can compare, for example, Q2 of this year to Q2 of last year, or Q2 of this year to Q1 of this year. Simple comparisons for fixed time periods, for example, 1 year ago, 1 quarter ago. That's already a very nice start, but of course there are use cases where the periods are not exactly the same dates or not the same length. And that's where the variable part comes in, and that's what we want to commit to for this quarter. That will basically allow you to compare date ranges where the start and end date are different, and maybe even the period length is different. So to make it a bit more clear, I added 2 examples here. I guess you all know the Amazon Prime days. Those are usually 2 days in the year, but on different dates. So if you want to do an analysis of how did our sales during those days change during 2 years on the Amazon Prime days, you can use this new functionality to select July 11 to July 12 from last year to July 16 and 17 from this year. And for that, we will create a new comparison widget, which you can see on the top of the screenshot, where you can basically select the 2 time periods. The second example goes 1 step further, where basically the 2 periods even have a different length. So the first one is a marketing campaign of 10 days. Second one is a marketing campaign of 8 days. And there you will have the option to really analyze that or to normalize that by the length of days, because obviously the number of days is different. So long story short, that will really allow you to dig into more detailed data for period-over-period analysis.
Just to make sure that I get it right, Yannick, and I think so, the Amazon Prime might not be always on the same period. And so basically you would have period 1 that fits perfectly on top of period 2, basically, so that you compare them really on the 5 days that the Prime is, even if the dates were different. We can imagine that for the sales, we can manage that in Belgium for the school days, that always changing every year, like Easter is not the same Easter year on year, that you want to make analyses on days, on those kind of elements, then you could take those into account without doing the classic, I will use really a bad example, Google Analytics, where you say, compare this 30 days with the same 30 days last year. We can really like shift it to the pinpoint that it makes sense to compare.
Yep, exactly. Easter is a good example. It's on a different date every year. So if you're a chocolatier that makes Easter eggs,
exactly,
and you want to compare the Easter egg sales of the Easter weekends with variable period-over-period, very easy to do so.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of the example I had in mind with the chocolate as well. And it's to prepare basically your season. I think that is great, because you can then compare it year on year, and you can have like, I'm growing in business, but at the end of the day, did I grow in orders or not? You know, and then you can start making wise decision instead of, oh, you know what, let's go all in because it's Easter, and then you get 40 degrees like here, then it's doomed, no chocolate.
Exactly. So I think this will be a very cool one. It's one we got a lot of feedback and requests about, so now it's on the menu for Q3, so excited about this one.
Looking forward to it as well. Cool stuff. Thank you, Mr. Teacher Yannick. What do we have next, guys? I want more now. I want more.
AI. What's next? AI. So I mentioned.
Watch out when you use those words. Huh? That word is like the most tricky one to use in a roadmap is probably AI.
Yeah, but I will try to avoid too much buzzwords. The only one I will use is probably agentic, which is very trendy these days. But I mentioned AI. That's a big for us, a big focus. We are spending a lot of time on AI, and what we want is to provide more functions, more capabilities to customers, and for us also to embed in our products to do more things related to AI. So what does it mean? It means that now you have Luzmo IQ. So Luzmo IQ is a great product. You have both the widget and the API. So you can use both already. What we want to do is to split this API, Luzmo IQ API, in very specific functions Customers can use in their workflow, can use in their agents to do very specific things. Like we mentioned some examples, like creating a formula through a prompt. Creating a formula, it's still tricky, it's still tough. You have to understand a lot of stuff and to very often do many tries. With a prompt, you can just write what you want, and it will create a formula. Another example is that if you want just a summary of data, not a visualization, but just a summary, you will be able to do it. And if you want only a graph, a chart, a widget, you will also be able to do it. And you will take advantage of all the Luzmo IQ speed, work we are doing. So it will be super optimized for different use cases. So what we are doing in Q3 is really opening the capabilities our customers and ourselves will be able to do with AI in the near future.
I love that, and I think all SaaS companies cannot not go with AI in any way, and there are a lot of expectation. If I get it right, versus what we have today, it's a more open product. It's like also the ability to be able to use it within their own apps, which was kind of possible, but much more technical, I guess, with a more SDK approach at that end. Was that like previously that way, Francois, where now it's more a component based? Is that correct? You see it that way? Or the direction you go?
Yeah, a little bit. But here, what is the main change is that right now, if you want to use Luzmo IQ, you use it at a whole. So you use it entire Luzmo IQ. Maybe you want in your workflow, maybe you are building an agent to do a very specific thing, and you just need a specific function. You don't need the entire Luzmo IQ.
So you lighter code, less to handle, like be more precise about what you want, and being able to leverage your capabilities to do that specific use case without taking le moule frite or the full-fledged.
Yeah, and you can also, for instance, embed some functions of Luzmo IQ in other, I don't know, search bar or anything, and mix and match and get a really nice experience for your end users. So it's again more flexibility, more AI embedded at the core of your products, and probably for both a very good user experience.
I love that part where I see all the value for an end user being able, to use more and more product with that kind of agent approach that you said. I also remember that Yannick did that crazy webinar with me with live coding, where a lot of people were asking, but do you need to code this and this? From one of the example I heard from you, Francois, it would also be possible today to leverage IQ, I would say, to help you in building up some formulas that would basically improve productivity at the end user level. Is that correct to see it that way, like a little support for every developer out there?
That's what we want. Yes, that's why we are doing that. So the formula is a good example. We are going to use this function in our own product, so in Luzmo, to help users and end users to create formulas. And customers will also be able to use this endpoint because we are API first. So everything we are building for ourselves, we are giving also to customers.
Basically, the expression, it's eat your own dog food as a new way. It's eat your own dog food and share that food with the world. Is that the way we're going at Luzmo, if I get it right now?
Indeed. And it's a very good food. Very tasty.
Hey, here we go. Basically, Joe, I don't know, but I understand that you understand English. Tu parles très bien français aussi, de ce que je vois. And I even saw some Dutch in there. So I feel that I have like a challenger over here, like it's a multilingual person, but we will stay to the question and keep it on the question. So I think over here, it's a good question, Joe. And I think, Yannick, it bounces back also to a couple of those questions we had with your webinar, correct? So I will just read it. So can I say something like, please make a marker map using GPS field with an interactive tooltip based on asset name, status date, and device name?
Today, you can already, in our dashboard editor, create charts with an AI prompt. So you could actually try use this prompt, and it should create a marker map for you using those fields from your dataset. It cannot handle all options very well yet, so the interactive tooltip might be a stretch, but making a marker map with the correct fields should be possible already today. But with this agentic API approach, we of course try to make the capabilities of those tools even better, and offer more things like creating formulas with AI.
I love it. I think that's the way to go. That's why I also share the link with like small use cases, and of course, as we are building on top, we will upgrade that, and that's a good chance to say hello to Connie, which is also in the background and supporting Francois and Yannick with everything that need to be run around product. Let's move on.
Indeed. So the last one we mentioned is single sign-on, so SSO.
I'm gone. Bye-bye. No, I just know that there were a lot of a conversation about single sign-on. Maybe just to re-put like the entire scope, Francois, because I know that there was a lot of conversation around SSO, a lot, and kind of good and maybe a bit less enjoying conversation about it. Can you maybe re-put the scene over here?
Yeah, of course. So SSO is a feature we are working on, and we commit to it now in Q3. We did a lot of discovery. We talked to many customers. We also got many feedback about single sign-on. If you don't know what is single sign-on, I'm pretty sure that everyone knows what is single sign-on. But basically, it helps to centralize your authentication. So very often
Francois,
now,
do you allow myself? Basically, when you get the button connect with Google, there is something like SSO. For so far I understand, that is SSO. When I see those big buttons of the major Americans, where I don't know what happened, but I get access to the platform, for me, that is SSO.
that is SSO. And many of our customers, they are using SSO, their own SSO. So
that is where the trick is.
Yes, because you want to connect with Google, of course. But if you are working in a company using already SSO, so basically centralizing your authentication in using a provider, let's say Okta. Okta is a very famous provider, authentication provider. So let's say you are using Okta, and you are using Okta to connect to Dropbox, Slack, Figma, whatever. You want also to use Okta to connect to Luzmo. So it's not possible. So because obviously we have to build it, but that's what we are planning to work on in Q3. So what will be possible is that if your provider is supporting OpenID Connect, here, okay. John, just being not technical, but it's basically how it works.
Hey, those are technical people. I'm probably the only non-technical person over here, so feel free to feed those guys. No, don't worry.
No, let me know if it's too technical. But basically, we have two main providers here, two main protocols. One is OpenID Connect. The other one is SAML. So what right now in the first iteration, we are going to support OpenID Connect. So it's one very popular protocol. Most of the providers are using OpenID Connect. So it should work out of the box with Okta and with many more. And there was a question about OAuth. So from Joe, I guess.
I will pick it up. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, and so just to answer this question, because I'm talking about OpenID Connect, OpenID Connect is built on top of OAuth. So indirectly, yes, we are going to support OAuth if you are using a provider working with OpenID Connect. So here, what will happen? We will support two different flows. One, usual flow when you are connecting from Luzmo app. You can connect to the Luzmo app, enter your email. If you are already authenticated in Okta, you will go directly to Luzmo. No password, nothing, straightforward. If you are not authenticated in Okta, you will be redirected to Okta to sign in. But very often in some organizations, you are always connected or logged in Okta or in this kind of dashboards. And actually, when you are in Okta, so you are working in the Okta dashboard, you connect, you will have applications like Dropbox, Slack, you will have a Luzmo application. You click on the Luzmo app and you go directly to Luzmo. So no need to enter your email, no need to enter your passwords. You can go directly to Luzmo using Okta or other providers.
I 100% agree. I remember in my previous company when we were like 30, no SSO. When we were getting at 150 and running for like Conquer Europe, SSO was like nearly mandatory, I would say. And I remember it had also a huge impact in the ISO certification. The fact that we were having an SSO was like giving you a lot of credits on security level, right management. Seems more for, I would say, mid-size, big enterprise that goes in that. Otherwise, I will say the Google Connect is most of the time what I was seeing as the most used. But so that means that we are more and more in capability today to help like more corporate or bigger companies that have that kind of need on security by embracing SSO.
Exactly. I mean, as you said, now it's a requirement from a lot of different departments in an organization, compliance, security. So it's very important to support SSO. And again, why? Because it's centralized, the authentication. So you can have one centralized authentication. You don't have to have many authentication in a lot of different applications. So from a security perspective, it's obviously a very good practice to use SSO if your organization is large enough.
Hello to Thomas that put that in place in my previous company. I think he lost probably 50% of his air by trying to run all the ISO certification, and the SSO was part of what he had to run. Took them quite a lot of time. Do you have something extra for me, Francois or Yannick over here? Or can I pick one of those questions, which is more a side question, I would say, not directly related? Can I put that one on the screen?
Yeah, let's jump to
and I think that's a fair one. And because, again, 251 times, thank you for the feedback. That's where we wanted to start with. We want to keep that one. So if you need more than Postgre and ClickHouse to play with our new capabilities, you should go to there. But I think it's a fair question to Thomas. Once we put those questions, I know that you guys aggregate those, you read them all, but people cannot maybe follow on them, or can they follow on it? How does that work?
So yes, it's a very good question. So I just want to emphasize the process here. So when you are going to roadmap our roadmap, so luzmo.com/roadmap, you submit an idea. It's going to our product board. So we are using product board where it's centralized all the insights, all the ideas you are sharing. Then there is no way to follow the status of this. But what we are doing is that we are putting in our roadmap page the main topics. So in the roadmap page, you have the button, but you also have some topics we are working on with some statuses. So you should be able to here follow what we are working on. It's not as granular as your own ID, but it should give you a good understanding of where we are and what we are working on at this point.
Yes, I might be saying something wrong, Thomas, so don't take for granted what I'm saying now. I repeat, don't take for granted what I'm saying now, but normally your customer success can always play a role in that, where they can have access in an easier way, I will say, to the internal decision and those kind of things. So make sure that sometimes when you're really looking for an update, reach out to UCS. They can find ways where you don't have access, and you should be able to have a quick answer back as well. But I might have put a bit pressure on the CS. Sorry for that, guys and girls. I really love you, but you're the central person, I will say, most of the time, connecting the internal people with our clients. So I think that's also a good way to be updated. But thank you for like unveiling a bit more about the process, Francois.
And just one thing I can add about the process, we are doing a lot of discovery on many topics. So very often, what we also would like to do, and we are doing, is to talk directly to customers about specific features. So if you have feedback, if you submit an idea, but you want to share it a little bit more in a call and to go deeper with us, reach out to your CS, and we can schedule a call to dig into it. For us, like I said at the beginning, it's one of the most valuable time we spend to talk to customers. So feel free to reach out to your CS, and we will organize something.
And your CS will love to be that person in the middle as well. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that one. Cool. So I think a summer that I hope will be a bit less hot for you guys, because if you have to ship all this in the coming few days, you will have, like we say in French, du pain sur la planche, some work on the plate. I think it's an ambitious one, but I think it's based on what the clients expect us to deliver. So SSO, we talked about it. Now there is a commitment to have it at the end of Q3. By the end of Q3, maybe again, if you're willing and like really seeking for that functionality, reach out to your CS, because we will need those beta tester, I guess, and people that help us get it right from day one, I would say. So make sure to rise up a hand, and I know that Yannick and Francois are really looking to be able to interact also on that. I'm really looking for those time over time period now, Yannick, because I will be crunching some of our own figures now that I have my sync with HubSpot running. Can be pretty cool to see based on field marketing events. Did we spend wisely the money in the past or not? And if not, at least we will do it wisely in the future. Or let's try to build on top of that.
You can be the first tester.
I'm always happy to be like, the proefkonijn, comme on dit in Dutch. So the taste rabbit, or I don't know, it's in English, it should be something else. No, I like it, guys. I think we had a good conversation. I want to say a huge thank you to Joe, but also to Thomas and all the people that ask questions. That is what make those sessions, I would say, a little bit more entertaining. I'll learn better that way as well. So again, if the format is still pleasing you, let us know, so that we are sure that I can keep pulling Yannick, Francois. We say hello to Jasper, which is enjoying a summer break as well. Pretty sure that he is on YouTube watching at you guys to make sure that you didn't make any promises or commitment he wasn't not aware of. So just to make sure. So again, huge thank you to both of you guys. Enjoy the summer. And let's make sure we deliver on those expectations. And I'm pretty sure that the community will be there in our next session. Muchas gracias, boys.
Thanks, everyone.
See you. Have a lovely vacation, people. Hello, everybody.
See you.